It is lacking a steering wheel.
This is it.
What?
Henry's a hustler who loves a deal,
That's fantastic!
and he's got an eye for a bargain.
Very trendy.
And Sam's a mechanical genius
Smiling and smiling.
who's never seen a vehicle he can't fix.
Oh, mate! Let's do it!
Together they're touring the country searching out vintage classics to buy and restore.
Oh, God, blimey. That's lovely.
And once they've got their new wheels back on the road, they'll be taking on a series of iconic challenges that puts each of the vehicles to the ultimate test.
We have made the ascent. It's like touching the void.
This week, Henry and Sam are looking for a one-of-a-kind Land Rover to take off-road.
I know this geezer Nick who sells military vehicles.
He's trying to offload an off-roader at you.
But the Landy they want to restore is a complete car crash.
We want a dustpan to take that one out.
No, it's just a little wipe over.
But the boys never give up.
Just keep it cranking.
Come on, baby!
And they're determined to get it back on and off the road.
Oh my, oh Lord. Oh my God. How long have we been driving around in my stunning, immaculate Series 3 Land Rover?
This old thing. Half a decade?
Right. Have we ever thought that we might quite fancy off-roading, don't we?
Sometimes we need to pull over onto the verge for a convenience stop, yes.
That's about as far as we're ever going to get off-roading in my lovely, beautiful, immaculate, relatively dent-free Series 3 Landing. But would we like to? The answer is yes, we would, because we've never done proper off-roading together, right?
That's a very round the houses way of addressing the situation.
Yeah.
Henry and Sam are planning to join the thousands of drivers who regularly take their cars and trucks across the mud and slime of the British countryside. And the classic vehicle for that kind of fun is the Land Rover.
I've got a plan.
Oh,
Now, I know this geezer Nick who sells military vehicles.
yeah.
And he rang me the other day and he goes, how's about you buying an off-roader I've got, a Landy?
He's trying to offload an off-roader at you.
You're absolutely right, and I've bought into it massive because he says it's rather lovely, it's built for purpose, and it doesn't need that much doing to it to go rural, to throw ourselves at the countryside. What do you reckon?
He's a salesman, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
It's an absolute goer.
This is where they're heading. Nick Mead's amazing place near Northampton called Tanks a Lot, full of military hardware. He also happens to sell other weird and wonderful vehicles.
Mate, I tell you what, man, that's a view you don't see very often. Obviously, he likes a tank or two. I mean, it does look a bit like the Battle of the Somme, doesn't it?
That's
but at
mad.
the same time, have you ever seen a vista like that? Hey, let's go off-roading. Nick's over here, come on. Nick?
Hey up, Henry. How you doing?
Good to see you, mate. Now look, this is Sammy.
Hello, mate.
Good to meet you.
And I
I've
think
not met you before. You're the brains, aren't you?
Oh, don't say
Someday.
that. He's been asking a few questions though,
Yeah.
Nick. Just like...
I want that one, but I want this one more.
You can't have that one.
The Bentley. I've always wanted a Bentley.
Can we just stay with the programme because I'm well excited?
Okay.
Okay,
Off-roader.
Land Rover, we've talked about it on the phone. Now, mate, that is a peach. Have you seen it? Look, lightweight. Don't you think it's mint? Hey,
Yeah, sure.
we can go off-roading,
Did you think that was the one I was talking about?
isn't it?
No.
What?
That's my girlfriend's.
What?
I don't mean that one. I mean this one.
What?
That one, the powerful one. You want brawn.
We want a dustpan to take that one out.
No, it's just a little wipe over. Be perfect.
All right.
Good luck.
So I think
Keep
I'm
your
going to
gloves
need
on.
it.
You might get rust poisoning.
You are kidding me. We've travelled here to buy a scrap, mongrel, mouldy,
Normally I say,
dead
good from far, far from good, but far from good from afar.
Look at it, it's kind of melting.
Now, he was going on about it being a Range Rover engine in it or something.
Right.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I've got quite a good eye for these things. That has not turned a wheel in 8 years or more. What do we do about this?
I'm just sorry, man.
Should we inspect the vehicle?
He does normally come up trumps.
Or just catch a bus?
We'll just catch a bus.
Best to have a look at it,
Will you
eh?
ever forgive me?
Who knows yet at this early stage?
In its favour, this Land Rover is a one-off. It's built on a shortened Range Rover chassis with a 3.9 litre engine, so all power with a lightweight Land Rover skin. If it's salvageable, it could be perfect for their off-road exploits.
God, it just looks awful from close up. Normally I want to eulogise and get you enthusiastic and don't worry about the algae and everything. But I'm lost on this, really.
Well,
it's well cool, or it was. It was well cool.
Cool?
But look, come on. There's checker plates, right? There's nice little covers like that, right, on the headlights.
It's going to be sold by the peaky headlights.
Yeah, peaky headlights.
It's got a big winch.
It's got a winch.
It's got a
all
big
right?
winch. Actually, I can see from here it's Range Rover chassis and coil sprung, and it's got, you know, proper roll cage. So it was a real trials Landy.
Okay, so look, that's good. It's got 6 spotlights, one of which looks decidedly ill. Oh my God.
One thing I've got used to is you look at the pulleys and see how rusty they are.
How rusty are they?
They're bad. That hasn't turned in 10 years.
Really?
Yeah. What about this is in any way endearing? It's got to
Yes.
be. It's got to be the price.
Challenge.
I like a challenge.
Why don't we just walk away?
Yeah. Let's get underneath and see how much rot it's got.
Well, why don't you have a little rummage underneath, right? I'm going to have a look round the back. Oh my God. Sammy, I'll tell you what, David Attenborough would love it round here.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So it might look like a laughing stock of a Land Rover, but Sam finds at least one piece of good news.
Unusually,
What?
the thing that I hate about Land Rovers and Range Rovers is the chassis are always completely rotten.
Yeah, right.
This is absolutely mint and it's never had a plate.
What?
Just, there's no rot on the chassis, but it isn't going to need welding.
Are the chances of us using the Oyster card diminishing?
I still don't think we're going to be driving home.
Okay, so first impressions is that it's awful. Second impressions is that it's really, really bad. Third impressions are that the chassis is solid. That's got to be good.
I mean, it's
Fully done? How much do you reckon?
It's a serious piece of kit, and its value is its sum of its parts, and it's made of all the right bits. Up and together and usable, it's like, I don't know, 7.5 grand?
Really?
I don't know.
I reckon this is worth 3.5 grand as it is.
I'd like to give 800 quid for it, but
Same here, shall we? Let's go see how much he wants for it.
it's got to be cheap, isn't it?
Nick, now look, right, tell us about that truck over
It's
there.
beautiful. It's got
No.
you written all over it.
It's quite a project.
No, not for a man of your calibre.
Yeah, but what about my calibre? I'm going to have to help him and it could all go horribly wrong. But look, it is a mega project. Now, but weirdly, I think we might have a go at the right
Yes.
price.
Oh,
It's got to be cheap.
do I have to start high?
No.
No.
You have to start low and go lower.
Well, it's got to be worth 5 grand.
Yeah.
1,200 quid.
It would be hard for me to let it go less than 4.5 grand.
You see, I was thinking more in the 3.
3. 4
seriously.
grand. 4 grand. I could go down to 4 grand, but it is special. All that power, disc brakes.
I've got the vision for it. It's just the execution that might take the time. 3.5 and I'll take my glove off.
You know you're going to do it for 4 though, don't you?
No, 3.5.
Yes, you will.
Come on, mate.
375.
3, I can't. 3.5. 3.5.
Oh God.
What did we just decide on?
375.
Did
Obviously.
we?
Yeah,
Let's meet in the
definitely.
middle and call it 3.6.
Go on then.
All right.
All right.
Deal. Is that
All right,
good?
great.
If he's happy,
All right,
I'm
mate.
happy.
Hey, look, man. Can we have a little rummage around, see if there's any other trinkets that we might like?
Yeah, yeah. Keep your hands in your pockets, though.
They could find anything in this amazing yard. And if it's tacky enough, they're bound to be interested.
You've just got to have a quick look at that. I mean, really? How could anyone possibly ever have thought that was a good idea? Oh, hang on. Oh, hello, sir. Please, welcome to the premiere.
Thank you very much.
Nice, enjoy the film. Come on.
The search goes on.
Just like a little trinket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good. What do you reckon, baby?
Yeah.
What's that, a little Sopwith camel?
I don't know. It's a biplane.
Yeah, but a remote control biplane, obviously. How cool is that?
Dope canvas over balsa wood. Looks handmade.
Hey, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it.
It's rather endearing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We could get that going.
It's got a little petrol engine on it.
I love the little person in it.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's worth a go, isn't it?
get all the dust off.
Yeah, cool.
I have a mate who restores all these.
Really?
Yeah. What do you think? 150, couple hundred?
Yeah, it'd be fine, wouldn't it?
So that just means another haggle with Nick.
Nick? Hey mate, look, right, we've just been having a little rummage. Okay, now look, you got yourself a biplane in there. How much would you want for that?
One of them handmade things, isn't it?
Yeah.
4.5. It's got an engine
200?
in. 200. No, there, it's got an engine in, all the radios in it and everything.
Broken. Some of the spars need redoing. And
No, that's beautiful. It's only ever no, it should be fine. It should
250?
be fine. No, it's a bit special.
275,
350,
300.
325.
All right. I think we're on a proper mission, man, to go off-roading, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, with that thing, whoa, you won't believe it.
Well,
No, we won't.
I don't think we will believe it. No, I think you're absolutely right.
So, all in all, still less than £4,000 for the dilapidated Land Rover one-off and the World War I petrol engine remote control plane. Coming up,
Looks better not in the hedge.
the boys get down to work.
That's proper compost, isn't it?
Will they ever get their off-roader on the road?
Does it or doesn't it turn over?
Go on.
Henry and Sam are planning a major off-road challenge on one of the UK's toughest courses.
Have you ever seen a vista like that?
And they found a decrepit old Land Rover to do up for the job.
What?
Look at it. It's kind of melting.
They've transported it to Henry's storage so the restoration work can begin. But first and foremost, Sam needs to check if the grungy old Land Rover actually runs.
I'm just worried that in 2 days, a dream could well have become a nightmare.
It looks better not in the hedge.
So the Landy, despite having been dragged through a hedge backwards, is vaguely looking the part.
We can go off-roading in that, can't we?
It's a purposeful looking tool. All I've got is nerves about it, just that engine being a bag of bolts or being seized.
It's time for Sam to get to work.
Do you honestly think that could go?
I mean, I have resurrected stuff out of hedges that's been there 30 odd years, but the problem with this is it's a slightly more modern piece of equipment. It's from the late 80s. It's not as robust as a pre-war car. I mean, you've got some electronic equipment, that stuff can go pop with damp. You've got rubber diaphragms in the carburettor, they always perish. Lots of it, a lot more components, a lot of alloy. Alloy against steel seizes really easily.
Are you just sort of convincing yourself that it won't go now?
Yeah, you've always got to err on the side of caution, say the least.
This will be a big job even for Sam, and the first step is to fit a new battery and check the electrics.
Do you know what? I'm well excited, mate. You know, this is a mission. I mean, forget the off-road challenge. The actual tinkering challenge is mega.
Yeah, although I'm apprehensive about hearing it run well, this is my favourite bit, bringing something back from the dead.
On you go, son. Shall I get the tools?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Just on top of the winch that I'm absolutely sure is going to work. I mean, it is a beast, isn't it? We're going to call it the beast. Because I tell you what, if this goes, I think we could be quite competitive.
I've noticed that this wiring area is a bit of a disaster. Someone's definitely been at it.
With the battery connected, it's time to try the ignition.
Contact.
Some of the wiring actually is still connected.
The Land Rover interior is deliberately kept rough and ready, as serious off-road driving often means water pouring into the cab.
Oh my God, it's like a helicopter.
Which is why the controls are in a strange place.
What's that?
Some of the electrics are working, including this jerry-rigged ignition light.
Oh my God.
And there's also power going to the wipers.
That's really scratching the glass.
Oh no, let's stop. I really think this is something. Do you know what I mean? I mean, look, you got Range Rover seat.
No, you're kidding me. How's that for reliability? Just trying to find the live feed for the ignition, basically. So somewhere in here is a little electronic ignition module. Someone's chopped all the wires and there's a plug missing off it and the coil was in the footwell. So I'm just trying to sort of loosely hang the wiring together to get a spark out of it.
Sam's an expert at this. Please don't try it at home yourselves.
Do you know, as he snuffles away here, talking about coils and ignition diddlers and all that kind of stuff, the bottom line is that orange light works. I mean, the windscreen wipers work. I mean, it can't get better than that, can it? Will it actually go? Oh.
Sam still can't be sure if the Land Rover will actually start, but at least if he gets the ignition system working, he'll be able to test whether the old Range Rover V8 engine turns over or not. After 2 hours of checking all the connections, at last he's ready to try it out.
Have you connected it up?
It's all connected and ready. Here's the wire in my hand. Does it or doesn't it turn over?
Go on.
No
Mate!
way. That's amazing.
I told you it's a minter! It runs! Well, it turns over.
That's turning over. That ain't seized, that ain't stuck. Sounds like an engine spinning. That's amazing. I mean, we're past the first hurdle.
The mere fact the engine is turning over is a real result.
It ain't seized, and the starter motor works, and the solenoid works, and some of the wiring is vaguely connected.
We are winning. Okay, spark.
I've put the right wires in the right place, again, just to splash on the battery. But rats have eaten the insulation off the HT leads.
Don't worry about a small rodent, man. Hey, they've only done the insulation.
I don't think this one was small, looking at the teeth marks.
All right, big rodent.
But rats or no rats having eaten through the HT leads, Sam is determined to get this car going.
Hey, look at that.
What, really? Mate, that's a spark.
That's a huge spark. Not just a spark, like half-inch spark.
Do it again. Mate, that's
Look at
mega.
that, that's huge.
Having found a spark, Henry and Sam's next job is to check that fuel is running properly to the engine.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, mate, it's absolutely gushing out.
The carburettors are damaged, but running well enough for Sam at this stage. And having checked the fuel, found a spark and turned the engine over, it's time for the acid test. Will the car start? This is another job you shouldn't try at home unless you know what you're doing.
I'll put this on.
Yeah.
And then you'll have this wire,
Yeah.
which has to go on this terminal to operate the starter motor.
Yeah, I got that. But I can't.
You got it?
Sam, this is a little bit embarrassing.
You're a bit weird, aren't you?
Yeah, hang on. Shall I do it?
I'm just trying to find the right linkages.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
Just keep it cranking.
Come on, baby.
No
Oh
way.
my God!
No way.
Oh,
Let go of
that
the
seems a
wire.
bit weird. Yeah. It runs. It runs!
That's amazing.
Oh my God, it runs! It runs! No, don't worry about any of that. Oh, mate.
That's great. That runs. I mean,
I can't believe that.
It's died again, but I think what we actually need to do now is sort the wiring a bit tidier, stick a new coil on it. The fuel pump I've noticed is leaking. Let's get a new one of those.
Right.
A few other bits and pieces.
So as Sam starts work on his long to-do list, Henry gets down to business with the remote-controlled model plane he brought back from Nick's yard. He's decided to give the 20-year-old Sopwith Pup World War I replica a thorough clean,
Look at that, will you?
before sending it to a model airplane expert who will then restore the controls and 4-stroke petrol engine in the hope that it can fly again.
Now, I've been doing a little bit of research on this, and it's called a Flare Magnetilla. That's the company that makes these planes, and would you believe they're still in existence today? Now, the plan is to get rid of all the dust that's been residing here for many, many years. Now, this is a material, I'm told, called Solartex, so it can withstand a little bit of nice, warm, soapy water. But before we do that, I'm just going to get the excess dust off with a paintbrush and also an airline. Man, look at that already. She's looking rather beige rather than dusty.
And under all that dust, the model plane looks to be in pretty good nick. And that also goes for the pilot.
Biggles may fly again. For how long? Well, that's left to be seen. I really don't want to crash her once we've fettled her and got her running. Look at that, will you? The difference already is astounding. I reckon she is actually, under all this, mint.
Henry continues to work his way across the wings
I'll tell you what, that is so satisfying.
and then to the cockpit.
Biggles, can you see, dear boy? You can now. My word, you have blue eyes. Marvellous. Look at him, man. He's come back. You will fly again, sir. Do you know that?
After blowing and brushing away the dust, it's just a gentle once-over with some soapy water.
He's very delicate. Very delicate. Now wipe your brow, son. That's nearly new. How lovely is that? Just take the bird poo off there. Look at that. Beautiful.
All that's left is to send it away to find out if there's any chance of getting airborne again. Coming up, the Land Rover's running, but there's still a way to go before they try it on the road.
Basically, we've got no brake pedal pressure whatsoever.
And Henry finds out if the Sopwith Pup replica is ready for takeoff.
Oh, mate, look at that! Biggles, best of luck, son!
Henry and Sam have bought a battered old Landy Range Rover mongrel to take on a brutal off-road challenge.
Oh my God, it's like a helicopter.
It's a beast of a car. They've managed to get it started.
It runs! It runs!
That's amazing.
Oh my God, it runs! It runs!
And now they're getting ready to finish the restoration. Sam has fixed the twin carburettors and changed the fuel pump on the Land Rover, as well as tidying up the electric. It means the 3.9 litre engine is running smoothly.
I never thought after day one we'd be saying we got a runner.
It's now time to see how the car scrubs up.
Right, jet wash. It's coming on.
It's getting there. It's a slow old process, but it's actually...
But it's well worth it.
yeah, also I get really, really into it.
I'll tell you what, it's hugely satisfying, this. Taking all this algae and leaching off.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my God.
More of an archaeological dig than a cleaning exercise, isn't it?
That's proper compost.
Don't make a mess.
I won't.
There aren't many cars you have to jet wash on the inside, but this is one of them. After a thorough going over, the Land Rover is almost unrecognisable.
It's transforming before my very eyes. There's quite a lot more to do, but we're getting there, aren't we? Well done, mate. What a great day.
It's all right, isn't it? It's good.
What a great truck.
With their heavy-duty off-road challenge ahead, Henry and Sam have decided to take no chances with the brakes and have sent the Land Rover over to four-wheel drive specialist Lee. In fact, the brakes are so soft that they're almost not functioning at all.
Basically, we've got no brake pedal pressure whatsoever. The pedal's actually going all the way to the floor.
And so Lee is bleeding air out of the system to bring them back to life.
That's just building up pressure. We can see the clean brake fluid coming through the system already. Nice clear fluid, no air bubbles. So that is now air free and bled off. Now the moment of truth to see if we've got a nice solid brake pedal. Excellent, I hope you chuff with that, Henry.
With the brakes now working properly, Sam has been back under the bonnet to finish bringing the V8 back to full working order.
Good.
And has also made sure the wiring is fit for purpose.
New set of HT leads.
Meanwhile, Henry is on a mission to smarten up the Land Rover's rusty wheel rims.
So while Sam's working on the Landy, I thought I'd come here to Bobby Dazzler's. With me new tyres, Daz.
Nice, isn't they?
And that's the last rim.
Okay,
Right, so powder coat, please, Gov.
no problem at all.
What do you think, satin or gloss black?
Satin is a really nice finish, mate.
Then satin black is what
Yeah,
it
otherwise
is.
glossy's going to be scratchy and all the rest of it. You don't need that.
Should we take it into Sean?
Let's go and see what he says.
Sean togs up and gets ready to sandblast the old paint from the rims.
Do a good job, Sean. I'll tell you what, this is going to be mint. Come on then, Darren.
Bit dusty in here.
Ah, Sean. Wow. Oh, that's proper mint. Look at that.
Brand new again, isn't it?
Sean, you're a legend. Oh my God, that's great.
Next stop in the process is the primer, and then Lee starts powder coating in black, which he then bakes on.
Lee, how long?
15 minutes, mate.
Is that it?
Yeah.
And so a quarter of an hour later,
That is the satin black. I have to tell you, man, that is beautiful and lovely and warm.
the final step in the process is protective lacquer.
So instead of going gloss powder coat, we've gone satin powder coat with a little bit of lacquer, and that does look gloss, but it's much more hard wearing. Oh, Lee, you've done a great job, son.
So it's back to the workshop where the new wheels are fitted onto the truck, and Henry and Sam get ready to attack the bodywork.
Okay, so right now then, we are going to mask this off once we've finished a bit of brushing, yeah? And we are then going to apply paint in a controlled environment, by which I mean the wind is less than 5 knots.
Funny you say knots, but this is more like painting a trawler than a car, isn't it?
I think it is, man, but that's the kind of vibe we want. We're going to rattle can it with a little bit of satin black, only because it's got to have that rough and ready vibe to it. We'll mask it off and we'll make it lovely, hopefully, but we're not exactly going for a Rolls-Royce Bentley crossover finish, are we?
So that's what they do, wire brushing away the rust and flaky old paint.
The checker plate's coming up nice with a wire brush.
Oh man, that's great.
And then the truck is masked off so that the spraying can begin.
Should we do like the Rolling Stones say?
Paint it black.
You know it!
I might run out of finger power though before we're done.
Yeah. I just wonder whether we've got enough paint.
Yeah, we'll be alright.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Henry and Sam are spray painting the truck as they want a rough and ready look, and and it will only need a single coat. Just a couple of hours' work.
That looks quite hardcore, doesn't it?
That's amazing.
So for just 90 quid in spray paint, they managed to completely transform the Land Rover.
Now look, I think that's well cool. That was in a hedge a week ago.
That is cracking.
The Land Rover was a moss-covered monstrosity when the restoration started, and now the makeover is complete inside and out. And after a unique test, it's clear the winch works as well. But what really matters is that the Landy runs well on the road.
Okay, initial thoughts.
It's great. It's got loads of power. The gearbox works nicely.
Yeah.
We've even got a touch of power steering.
So what's the summation?
Well, the cobwebs are blowing out of it. The tick-over's climbing.
Yeah.
It drives really well. The engine's really sharp.
Are we ready to go off-roading?
We are ready.
And this is what they plan to do. The boys will be going off-road. Their Land Rover shell on the shortened Range Rover chassis and with the 3.9 V8 engine is ready for action. But before then, Henry needs to make sure his remote control plane has been brought back to life.
Now for the moment of truth. Fantastic.
Model plane expert Martin has been working on the 20-year-old Sopwith Pup replica, fine-tuning the petrol engine and refitting the remote control device.
Martin, mate.
How's it going?
And now he wants to see if it will fly for the first time in a decade.
Is she ready for it?
Yes, yeah, this is the day.
Now look, right, so you put new, they call them servos?
Yep, servos, receiver, battery, engine.
Now look, have you flown her before or not?
No, this is the first time.
This is what they call in the trade a proper maiden flight.
Yeah, definitely, yep.
Now Biggles, I bet you thought you never were going to fly again. It's going to be all right, isn't it, for him, Martin?
Yeah.
He's not going to come back in a box.
Anything can happen, but...
Do the thingies work? Martin, the ailerons.
Ailerons are working.
Oh mate, look at that!
Elevator's working.
That's fantastic.
And the rudder's working. If you'd like to hold the back of it for me.
Oh right, okay, what, literally the back?
Yep. Just hold it, that's it.
Okay, I got it. Biggles, best of luck, son. Here we go. She's airborne! Oh mate, she's away! That's fantastic!
Glad you're happy.
Oh, look at her! Isn't it just great to see that? You would have thought this would have never flown again, and there she is. What is it about us, right, at our age? We get such pleasure out of getting stuff like this flying. What makes sense for you? Are you concentrating?
I am, yeah.
I thought you might be.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Martin? I've got to tell you, this is one very special day for me. You find something in a shed, you give it to a pro like you, and now she's flying again.
The controls are working perfectly and Martin is able to land the plane safely.
Mate,
Down.
you're a legend.
Coming up, the boys take their restored Landy back to its natural habitat.
What happens if it rolls? How do we get out of here?
And they're in for a bumpy ride.
Got it? Sure. Oh, you're right. Blimey, yeah, I think so.
But will the beast last the course? Sam have restored their Land Rover from a rusting, moss-covered wreck to a cool black V8 engine beast.
That was in the hedge a week ago.
That is cracking.
And now it's time to put their off-roader to the test. They've been planning a suitably brutal challenge and have come to the Billing Off-Road Lakeside course near Northampton. People travel from all over the world to put their vehicles through this mix of mud, water and steep terrain. But Henry and Sam want to show that the Landy is a match for any off-roader on the planet.
What do you reckon?
It's raining.
Hey look, that's part of off-roading, the rain. We're here, we've got boots, we've got waterproofs you haven't, we've got matching fleeces, haven't we?
His and his.
I've got the hat, I've got the compass, but hang on, you were supposed to be wearing a furry hat, weren't you?
I thought this was way more Land Rover.
Could I clunk you with our off-roading thermo mug?
They've enlisted as course guide Land Rover specialist Steve Miller and his all-terrain wingman Mark, who turn up in a Landy of their own.
I mean, that is a quality 110, isn't it?
It's great. I like the water in the lamp. They've been somewhere already, look.
Oh yeah, they have, haven't they? Steve!
How are you, man?
Good to see you, man. How are you?
Yeah, very well,
Lovely,
thank
lovely.
you. Very
Hello,
well.
mate.
This is my mate Mark.
Hello, Mark. How are you? That's Sammy.
It's a wet and miserable day in Northampton, perfect for the slippery, muddy course. But first things first.
Have you got a car?
Yeah?
It looks a bit clean at the moment, mine.
We'll soon change that.
Yeah, we
we'll
can
soon change that for you.
Now, what are we going to do?
We've had a little look round already this morning, and there's mud,
Wood.
there's hills, water crossings,
Yes, bit of
mud
everything.
runs, everything you want.
Henry and Sam will each take a go on the 2.5-mile lakeside course and will then put their beast through its final test over the infamous mud run.
What happens if it rolls? How do we get out of here?
A 30-metre stretch of sludge with varying depths between 1 and 6 feet.
Well, obviously, if we spill it off the side and go in the lake deep, you don't get out without the other one.
All right, mate.
It's a monster challenge and they'll need a monster amount of skill or luck to get through it.
We're going to just take it
No, I
easy.
know.
I'm just really quite nervous.
Don't be.
Oh, well, I am.
It's a tough assignment, and it's meant to be, as course founder Richard Arrowsmith makes clear.
Well, it's designed for a standard vehicle, but it all depends on the weather, of course. When we have rain, it can be quite taxing, even for the expert. Just go slowly, don't use excessive throttle, and just look ahead of yourself. Look beyond the bonnet and drive accordingly.
So that's the strategy, and first to follow Mark and Steve around the Lakeland course is Sam, and that means Henry riding shotgun.
They don't know what's ahead of them, do they? They just don't know what's ahead of them. Let's show them.
Hey, it's going to be okay.
They've never driven their Land Rover off-road before, and they're throwing themselves in at the deep end, hopefully not in a literal sense.
I've every faith in you, mate. Every faith. Go. Let's do it. Oh my word. Oh dear. Hands up. Oh, power on. That's good.
Let's do some off-roading.
I reckon we should really mess them up.
Let's do it.
Having survived the first incline, they're on their way. The Range Rover powered Landy is firing on all 8 cylinders and eating up the terrain. So far.
Now we're off-roading. Hey,
Now we are
this is proper
off-roading.
off-road, isn't it? Oh, blimey. That's quite a... Oh, right. This is your first proper test.
All right, I was going to go
Come
a
on
little
then.
faster than that.
Oh, really? Are you? Well, I really wouldn't advise it. Oh my God. Woohoo! Bump inch. Power on. Yes, me T's going everywhere. Woohoo! We're off-roading now, son, aren't we?
Properly.
We're throwing ourselves at the countryside. Oh yeah. Oh.
Right, got
it. Cool.
Oh, you're right.
Blimey, yeah, I think so. Keep power on.
I saw you head
Yeah.
to the windscreen
Yeah.
quite sharpish there.
Yes, we're out. Well done, Samuel.
off-roading it's about.
Absolutely.
A couple of old Land Rovers, no creature comforts,
No.
no heat.
Certainly not in one of these anyway.
Blimey. Right, bit of traction, bit of goodness. Those tyres are working beautifully. Look at that, we're in the river. Oh, well done, mate. That's great. Right, next.
And next is a true test of the Landy's suspension.
Those look like logs. Should we be going over these?
Yeah, be all right.
What? Oh, blimey. That's that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, blimey. More than the average sleeping policeman. That was amazing.
Blimey, I've got to tell you, man. I'm really quite getting into this.
That was tree style, that was. What?
Sam's made sure the vehicle has survived the first run, and now it's Henry's go
Right, my turn.
Don't even scratch it.
to take the off-roader around the track.
I'm scared now I'm a passenger, isn't that
Don't
weird?
be scared. It's all good. Okay, let's go.
Just keep off the clutch.
I'm off the clutch. Power on.
I'll
Hold it in gear, Sammy.
Yep.
Engine braking. Oh my God. Okay.
Actually, this
I'm
is
on it,
quite
I'm on
fun.
it.
It's very
All right,
different.
I can't
being
see anything. I'm coming down, engine braking.
Yep. It's different
Thanks.
being a passenger, actually.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
It's
we're
quite
rocking.
nice. I quite like it.
Do you?
Yeah.
My heart's going. I think it might be slightly out of rhythm.
So far, so good. But on this course, there's always another hazard around the bend.
Okay, this one looks like a bomb crater. Yeah, okay, here we go. Okay. Oh Lord. Right. Oh my God! Blimey. Okay, power on, Henry, power on. Oh, my foot's come off the throttle. That's it, that's it, that's it. Mud plugging, that's what we're doing. Oh my God! Yes!
Keep it moving.
Power on. You've got to keep momentum, Henry.
Yep. Hey!
Hey, this is good. This is good.
Oh, that was great.
All
I
right.
like that.
Hang on. What was that? Bushes? Bushes bouncing? Rocks? Caught? Blimey. Power on, power on.
Oh, nice.
Power on, mate. Don't worry about it.
Nicely done.
We're all done.
Nicely done.
We're off-roading, Sammy, you and me. Much as I was kind of taking the mickey with the thermoses and the compass and all that, I can see it now.
It's a lot of fun.
This is good laugh. This is good laugh.
So the car and both Henry and Sam have survived their first real off-road experience.
What a great thing, mate. This is a proper truck.
What a magic stick.
But their biggest challenge is still ahead.
Now, come on, what do you reckon?
That is great.
Hey, we're off-roaders official. Now, look, honestly, how have we done so far?
So, yeah, you're doing okay. And there's no damage to the vehicle, so
well,
that's always
thumbs up.
yet.
That's the good news. Here comes the bad. It's time for the mud run.
It's not going to get too extreme, is it, or is it?
Oh, it's dirty. And
Very,
it's
very smelly. And you two are going in it.
Hey, look, but it's pretty easy though, man, right? All we got to do is follow them.
No.
No, we're not going in it.
No chance.
What?
But who's going to be in the hot seat?
You can choose if you call it right.
Tails.
It's heads, alas. You're driving.
Great.
So it's Sam behind the wheel,
Here they go.
trying to dodge the 6 feet deep stretches of this stinking sludgy pit. Will the Land Rover get them to the other side? Failure, and it's an early filthy bath.
What do they mean about them not coming in?
Ah, don't worry your pretty little head about it.
I'm worrying. Oh my God, here we go. Power on. Power on, power on. That's it. Oh God.
So through the mud they go.
Oh my God, Samuel. All right.
Changing gear.
What? You're changing gear now? Don't do that.
The secret is to keep the power on smoothly and never lose momentum.
Just ease up. Sammy, what are you doing? Sam! Yes, we've done it!
They've done it.
They've done it! I can't believe it! They've done it!
the boys and the Land Rover have survived.
Ah, yes, we did it! Well done, mate. Now, I can't take any credit for that, obviously. I was just hanging on for grim death. But, man, it's such fun. I can see why you're into it, man.
Yeah. We didn't think you were going to make that.
Really?
Yeah, we had a bit of a bet on, and
did you?
I lost.
Oh, thank you so much. Brilliant. Come on, then.
Great.
Let's go, boys.
Cheers.
See you later. Thank you so much.
See you soon.
See ya.
So the restored Land Rover has been a triumph, transformed from an algae-covered disaster to truly an off-road titan that the boys will be using again and again.
Now we've mastered the off-roading.
Yeah.
Do you fancy coming camping with me for the weekend?
What, camping out?
Yeah, we're camping out.
What
we
to
take the
do?
Land Rover, we could make beans.
That's really weird.
Is it?
Yeah.